funny you say that. I had an experience, and this has probably been about, I don't know, a year ago or so, or by now. But even then, you know, about a year ago, like we weren't in like this crazy busy market by any means. But I had a client that was very uneducated on how the process worked. It was a referral from a real estate partner of mine. I got them pre-approved, had them ready to go, had talked through logistics of numbers, kind of had gone through that whole process. And this client just not really kind of understanding how the actual home search process works yet, because they hadn't given their agent the time of day to meet with them yet to learn how the process goes, right? They hadn't had that meeting yet. Well, they went online, clicked the button on Zillow and said, hey, I want to look at this house. And of course, as you probably know, is that goes directly to an agent who is paying for that opportunity. And that specific client went and looked at that house with that agent. This is pre-buyer's agency agreement, by the way. Yeah. Just want to press at that. But long story short, but they went and looked at this property with this other agent, and this agent called me immediately after the showing and said, hey, can I get a pre-approval letter for XYZ Main Street or whatever the address was? Mm-hmm. And she was like gung-ho, like, we're writing an offer. And I said, well, first off, let me ask a couple questions. How did you connect with this person? Because you're not the agent that referred them to me, right? If it wasn't for this other business partner of mine, right? So I asked that question. I said, how did you connect? And of course she said Zillow. And so then after I said, oh yeah, no problem. Let me just talk to the client first to make sure they're comfortable financially. And I called the client and I just said, hey, what can you tell me about this property you saw? And she's like, honestly, I didn't really like it that much. And I looked at myself. It's like, okay, so this agent that connected with this client via Zillow was basically already drafting up an offer. Yep. Because they wanted the quick sale. When in reality, if they would have just listened to the client and had the heart for the person they were connecting with, they would have realized the client didn't really want the house anyways. Yep. So it just kind of goes back to, like you said, the working with the right people who understand what you want and like giving them the time to day to identify those goals, to me, is like the most important part, and giving the agents and the lenders the opportunity to educate you on what the process looks like. And we want to identify your goals, right? Because we care about you as human beings, not just as a transaction like some of these online agents try to be, if that makes sense.